at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Oh, superb.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the world's biggest sports radio station. It is talkSPORT. My name is Max Rush, and alongside me, Barry Glendenning, for this journey through sport. How are you, Barry?
I'm your little mate, Max.
Yeah, I know.
I just heard that adapted jingle for the first time, and I have to say, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Very kind of, Simon to offer to do the voiceover for our show. And we look forward to what he's got for past. How are you, Barry? Sunderland are second in the Premier League, Barry. Do you keep staring at the league table? I think if Cambridge were second in the league table, I just spend all day staring at it in silence. I know it's not as ridiculous to suggest, Sunderland being second in the Premier League as Cambridge, but it is still ridiculous, bearing in mind it's the end of October.
Yeah, I mean, if they were second in the table, which I think maybe they were, after one game or maybe two games, you go, well, this is great, and we'll print it and we'll get T-shirts made. But what is it, 9 games? They're second. Now, they probably won't be second by close of play today, but they might be. Oh, it's not out of the question.
And if there's one thing I know about the league table, Barry, is it doesn't lie.
Well, now, there's a friend of mine in Ireland called Ken Early who can statistically prove that the league table does lie, and that for the league table to not lie, I think is every team would have to play each other about 100 times.
Oh, what a season that would be.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as if it's not long enough already. So, yeah, every team plays each other home 50 times, away 50 times. Then you're going to get a more honest league table. But, I think the league table is kind of as close to the truth as you can get. Now, Sunderland do have some tough fixtures coming up. In fact, yesterday was supposed to be the beginning of their very tough run of fixtures. So they've got one out of the way with 3 points. 3 points I think they deserved. And look, I spent quite a lot of the back end of last season carping about the fact that I did not want Sunderland to get promoted because there would be no fun in seeing them get beaten week in, week out in the Premier League, just serving as cannon fodder like Southampton did last season. But what an absolutely fantastic job Regis Lebris has done. I remember when he got the job, I texted our friend Philippe Auclair. I went, who is this guy? Never heard of him. Is he any good? Philippe talked him up and said, yeah, he will be good. Then Sunderland proceeded to sign a load of players during the summer. I think it was 14 in total. I cannot think of one dud. And if I'm honest, I think Granit Xhaka was the only one of the 14 I'd actually heard of. And I would say if you were to list the top 20 Premier League signings so far this season, I'd say
14 of them are Sunderland.
I would say Sunderland have at least 10 of them. There's a guy in midfield, Noah Siddiqui, never heard of him. He is fantastic. Xhaka is just such a great leader. And he seemed hell-bent on going to Sunderland. No one could figure out why. But
nothing's going to stop me.
There he is.
I'm going to get there. Yeah. And Chelsea fan, and sorry to interrupt, you'll have plenty of time. The Premier League review is but minutes away. Chelsea fan Andy Jacobs has been in touch, and obviously you can hear him coming off his long run tomorrow on Hawksby and Jacobs. And he just says today, and he's a big fan of this show, and he says, I'm really looking forward to Paddy McGuinness's show on Radio 2 today. Then I'm recording my What I Did Yesterday podcast, which was I wasted 90 minutes of my life watching 11 overpaid and underperforming footballers lose to an incredibly average Sunderland. I said you should stay and listen to our new jingle. He said, I can't face it. And then he said, it's not Paddy McGuinness, he's off. It's OJ Borg sitting in for him. Apparently he's a massive Sunderland fan. You can't get away from them, Andy. Stick with us. That's the point. Because it's quite interesting, isn't it? Some listeners to, sports radio or football podcasts or whatever do not tune in when their team loses.
Yeah, I never get that. But I suppose if you support a team that habitually loses, then you would be starved of content, wouldn't you? If you avoid everything,
you've got to take the pain when it happens. Sam says, you can't just ignore what Barry said there about needing 100 games to be a fair league. Can he elaborate? Barry, can you elaborate?
I can't really, but
that's okay.
According to Ken, some statistician has proved that for the league table to be totally unscrupulously honest reflection of which team is the best, which is the worst, etc. Every team would need to play every other team 100 times.
Ian says, hi Max, I was just thinking about Barry, as he strikes me as a man very set in his ways. I don't know what gives you that idea. His routine and not one for change. How is he coping with the clocks going back? Thought I'd ask, as he sounds a bit out of kilter on the radio anyway, so it'll be a hard one to detect.
Yeah, I was slightly confused. So I woke up this morning. I'm quite an early riser. I'm usually up by 6 o'clock, 6:30. And I woke up today and I thought, I know my radio and my phone switch themselves back. I don't need to interfere there. No. But my watch, I have a digital watch, which newfangled, man.
Stop it.
It's not. It doesn't have a calculator.
Someone's doing all right.
Yeah.
Exciting.
It's a G-Shock.
Can you stop a video? Can you pause a video with it? Is it that
No,
good?
no.
All right.
But I didn't think my watch had the capacity to switch itself back.
Wow.
But it had. So when I woke up, the first thing I did was look at my watch, and it was 20. I think it was 20 past 6. So I thought, oh no, it's 20 past 7. And I don't know why I said, oh no, because it wouldn't have mattered. I'd still have been in loads of time. I still had. I still had 3.5 hours to make the 20-minute journey to talkSPORT Towers, but I went, oh no.
Oh,
but
you panicked.
It turned. So then I got my phone, and my phone had the same time as my watch. And this story is going nowhere. It's very boring already. But long story short, I discovered today that my watch, contrary to what I believed, does have the capacity to go back an hour without my interference.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that wasn't an interesting story.
No, it wasn't, was it?
But Ian did ask the question.
Yeah.
We can only deliver what they asked for. Adrian says, hi, Max. My son, Bertie Eggleton, just won his under-10s football match 3-1, but he scored an own goal. Do I say well done or say it's not good enough?
I would say...
what would you
put
say?
Bertie on the naughty step for an hour.
Okay, yeah, an hour.
And then bring him out for, I don't know, wherever he likes to go, the ball pit or pizza parlour, whatever it is children like to do. I don't have any. I don't know.
There we go. Your two choices are Bertie, ball pit or pizza parlour. Good luck with it. Don't give them ideas, Barry. Hashtag 100 games a season. Yeah, can just see the Premier League. Guys, that is a brilliant idea. Put them all on live, one after each other. Let's flog these players. They don't play enough football. Anyway, so there we are. Waterson Village FC, as a Sunday League side, we listen whilst we're losing, he says. It is very good of you. It is Max and Barry here on the warm-up, brought to you by the good people of Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app, and we'll do a Premier League review in just a second.
unpredictable Premier League, at least at the start of the season.
Are Sunderland going to win it? Oh my goodness, Sunderland are going to win it.
It is Chelsea 1, Sunderland 2, Shamsdean Toby.
It's Newcastle 2, Fulham 1. It's Bruno Guimaraes, the Newcastle captain. Game over now. It's Manchester United 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Brian and Buemo.
United is stand in the Premier League right now at 4th.
If Liverpool fail to win, Stuart Pearce, they'll be behind Sunderland in the Premier League.
And Sunderland are 2nd. Sharda, he's in, he scores. And Liverpool are 2-0 down. The same mistakes being repeated week after week after week.
Excitement, intensity of Brentford at the moment. Liverpool's build up so slow.
Eagle Chaga hits it right-footed, right down the middle. Another huge story unfolds. Salah! What a goal! There's one back for Liverpool.
Swung his right at it, hit the underside of the bar, 3-2.
No title challenge for decades has withstood a run of 4 successive Premier League defeats.
All sounded on talkSPORT yesterday. Here are the texts. A great story from Barry about his watch going backward automatically. I look forward to the next thrilling instalment in March when the clocks go forward. Paul says, Max Barry, that story about the watch goes straight to the top of the list, above the ones about the family discussing football on a plane and the strawberry picking one. Keep it up, says Paul. And AJ in Suffolk says, hi, Max and Barry, calls us Mary. Just out of curiosity, does Barry wear a gold chain with a gold sovereign attached? Whenever I hear his voice on the radio, I get an image of a retired disco dancing champion. Is this image accurate? I refuse to check online. Thanks for your support in this matter. I can confirm, AJ, no. But
I do actually own a gold sovereign, but it's not on a chain, and I've never worn it around my neck.
Okay. And you don't punch people in the face with it and leave your indelible
No, it's not. It's not jewellery. It's just an actual sovereign.
Wow. How exciting. Well,
yeah.
Maybe save that story for next Sunday. Let's do a Premier League review. Let's do a Premier League review.
Let's do a Premier League review.
Let's do a Premier League review. You try.
Let's do a Premier League review.
Let's do a Premier League review. You try.
Will we do a Premier League review?
Well, I'm really desperate to, but I couldn't possibly contractually do a Premier League review until the music plays. Should we have a Premier League review?
I think we should do a Premier League review.
Hey, Barry, I've got an idea. I don't disagree.
What is it?
Well, I think, because there were only 4 games.
Premier League review.
Here we go.
On talkSPORT.
Halfway through that, Barry, our producer, he said, no jingle in my ears. And I was like, I reckon we could push this, but I wonder how long your conviction would have gone. I would have done the full half hour. I don't know about you.
Well, there were four young people gathered around the console behind the glass.
Oh, really?
I've no idea how complicated a process it is to play. I just presumed there's a big button there with Premier League review.
Lee says... Lee's been in touch to say any chance of a Premier League review that we'll do what we can, Lee. Where do you want us to start at Stamford Bridge? Because I know we've talked about you being second in the league. I think there's something really interesting about that goal in injury time, about like just the psychology of everyone there, apart from maybe 3 Sunderland players. All the fans, certainly everyone at Chelsea, involved with Chelsea, just thinks, look, either this game is going to end in a draw or we're going to win. Like, I'm watching that going, there's no way Sunderland are going to win. Like, if somebody scores late, it's Chelsea. So they're all attacking, and nobody even pauses to think that Sunderland might go up the other end. And so it's great work. Who is it? Gertrude, who just it's not quite just a lump up field, but it has the real feel of a lump up field. He does well to sort of carry the ball a bit. And then Brian Brobby, who does sound a bit like a Peter Serafinovich character or someone from Toast of London, doesn't he? He holds it up so well.
I counted it when I was watching it for maybe the 19th time. 6 seconds he held that ball unopposed. clock with no one really
feel
trying to get it from him.
It was forever. Maybe they just thought, well, he's not going to pass it. And then they showed it quite well, you know, when you saw like the whole pitch and like the Chelsea players didn't really track back. And then this guy, Chemsdean Talby, who I did look up. So I've proved to myself that, you know, after Loom Tuna, that I do still look up people I've never heard of, is born in Belgium, plays for Morocco. But that is such a brilliant finish at that moment to just pass it into the corner.
Well,
and and the fans, like there's something... maybe it's because, you know, I don't support Chelsea, but there's something about the away end at Chelsea. They're right there. They're right on you. Just seeing them be so excited.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone else make this observation, but that finish was identical to the goal Tommy Watson scored at the same time in the playoff final to send Sunderland into the Premier League. Tommy Watson, who's now at Brighton. But the finish was just curled pass into the net. Lovely finish. Showed great composure, and I'm just super chuffed with how well Sunderland are doing. I'm as shocked as everyone else, to be honest. And I suppose it makes him. You know, we hear people are saying, and I'm one of them. Oh, Florian Wirtz he's taking time to adapt to the Premier League and blah blah blah, but. This Sunderland team, like, it's been thrown together in the summer. I think only 3 players started yesterday who were at the club last season. And Regis has brought in, whatever it is, 14 players. And they all look to the manner born. None of them are taking time to adjust. They're just getting on with it. And they're really good. I mean, They were well worth their win yesterday. It wasn't lucky.
Yeah, I think so. I think you make a really good point about the number of players that have come in and have settled. And Michael Carrick made that point of match today. To have done that, to get everyone in and everyone singing from the same hymn sheet is really impressive from Labrie. I like Enzo Lefebvre. I like it because his name does sound a bit like a Disney baddie as well, doesn't it? He put Xhaka through for a chance. They defended so well. Ballard played so well. There was a great block from someone when Esteval had a chance. Just sort of, he made a bit of space for himself. Obviously scored from a long throw, and Mukiele sort of lobbing it in. I think we should wait until Michael Coyote before we get into long throws.
Well, Mukiele's long throw is a completely different long throw to Coyote's long throw. Coyote is the nearest, will we call him Wily Coyote? With his Acme throw-in. But he's the nearest we have of the current crop of long throw merchants who has got sort of lapping it in at that flat trajectory.
Yeah, Jonathan Wilson wrote about it, you know, sort of just as the fastest bowlers or golfers that drive the ball the furthest tend to be the most graceful, Coyote seems to generate his distance with rhythm. There is a lithe fluidity to his run-up and release, the trajectory oddly flat, more metal wood than 7-iron. He whips his arms so far. If you watch his arms, he sort of runs up and then his arms at the last minute just go whoop. And, we've done Sunderland now. We've done quite a lot on Sunderland. Let's talk about Brentford's win over Liverpool. Because Brentford were brilliant in this game. And, like, a bit like Sunderland. But how much churn there has been in the season. I owe Jordan Henderson an apology. I'm probably not the only one. I thought his sort of days of being quite dominant in the central midfield in the Premier League were done. And I thought he had a really, really good game. I absolutely love long throws. I've loved them ever since Andy Legg and Dave Challoner, and we had Richard Wilkins who could really hoy one in, and they're really, I find that what's the fashion of it is interesting. How just, you know, someone went, I think we should just do these, and everyone's gone, okay. And in Sunday League, right, I mean, obviously people still do it in Sunday League if someone can lob it a long way. But there's definitely been like a Pepperisation of football at real grassroots level of everyone trying to play out. And me just yelling, don't do that. We're not good enough to do this. We can't string 3 passes together. Let's not do that. But everyone will be trying to lob it as far as they can now. And I am here for it. But I just thought Brentford were brilliant in this game. That pass from Damsgaard is so good for the second goal. And
it's one of those passes that... had he made it 3 weeks ago, it might have been stolen from the Louvre last weekend.
Yeah, that's
by
true.
That team of robbers.
Yeah.
Have they been caught yet, by the way?
I don't know,
I don't think so.
I've not been keeping up on it. But I am yet to, look, just in my neck of the woods, I've not seen anyone wearing the French crown jewels.
Okay.
So whoever's got them is like keeping them hidden at the moment. But yes, such a brilliant performance. Yes, Barry?
No, I was just going to say I'm super pleased for Keith Andrews. A, because he's an Irishman. B, because he seems like a lovely fella. And C, I think a lot of people owe him a bit of an apology as well. Because when Thomas Frank left Brentford and they had this churn of players, a lot of people were expecting them to do very badly. A lot of people were tipping them to be relegated. I was one of those people. I didn't think they'd go down, but I didn't think they'd do particularly well. Now, the season is young yet, as we know, but what a great start he's got off to.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just said, we don't know if he's any good, which is quite legitimate. Like, we just didn't know. So, when you're predicting your table, it's quite hard, isn't it? Tim Robinson, he sounds worryingly Southern. I don't know how he snuck into the PGMOL when we heard him do a VAR. The Van Dijk penalty thing. I think Van Dijk's a bit unlucky. I mean, like, it is a penalty, but I reckon if it's right in the middle of the box, not that this should happen, but the ref doesn't give a free kick, is what I think. I think he gives a free kick because it's outside the box, and then he has to give it as a penalty because it's on the line. But it's also interesting when Tim Robinson ran out for the second half, and obviously he replaced Simon Hooper, and his linos ran out. It's interesting just how many are bald. Like, if I was a Ree Thatcher, in Turkey, I would offer a job lot to the PGMOL. And imagine that if over the summer all of the referees got new hair and all came back, and in the summer they all had like big foppish, just huge foppish locks going everywhere. But it's quite interesting. They were all northern and all bald. What sort of a weird club that is. But Tim has snuck in, sort of plummy southern Tim. Well, he's not that pot. It doesn't sound like Henry Blofeld. See, that would be good. Well, I've just checked the VAR. And I was just inside the box, the number 4. Don't you know?
Penalty kick.
And I was terribly drunk. There was a fun voice note from Boss Nee. I just listened to it. And he was watching this game and he noticed Keane Lewis Potter. And his question was, is Keane his first name and he's got a double-barreled surname? Or is it just like a moniker for Lewis Potter that he's incredibly enthusiastic? And his name is Keane Lewis Potter. And why don't all footballers have an adjective that describes them before their names? If you'd like to add one, if Keane Lewis Potter is our first one, if you have any more, 81089 at Max. He suggested Norse god Erling Haaland, but slightly more banal ones I would prefer, I think. But yeah, if you can do better than Keane Lewis Potter. Should we talk about Liverpool in crisis? I know we're a bit late for the headline. Why don't we just have the headlines and then we'll do Liverpool in crisis in a second. It's Max and Barry here on the warm-up with Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk. Good morning. You are listening to the warm up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. So should we talk about Liverpool's crisis? How do you see it, Barry?
Well, everyone had them down as champions after the first 4 or 5 games. They were not playing particularly well, and they were winning. And I think my presumption, and I'm probably not alone, was that they would start playing well and continue to win. But that isn't what's happened. They're still not playing brilliantly, and they've now lost 5 in a row in the Premier, or 4 in a row in the Premier League. That was their 5th defeat in a row against a London club away from home. Now, I'm reluctant to call it a crisis because I think in some of the games they've lost, they've been a bit unlucky. There are games that could have gone either way. But I think they were thoroughly well beaten last night, and I think the 3-2 scoreline actually flatters them a bit. Brentford were hugely impressive. And, yeah, if I was a Liverpool fan, particularly with how strong Arsenal appear to be, I would be very, very concerned. I mean, if City don't win today against Villa, and I think there's a very good chance they might not, and Arsenal win their game, what a weekend for Arsenal.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, look, City still could. I think I had City to win the league, but not with any faith, particularly. But yeah, for the title race now, we need both of them. If Arsenal and City could both lose today, then the title race is very exciting. But, I wouldn't hand it to Arsenal yet, but you're right, they look so solid. They look so solid.
They're so good in defence. They've only conceded 3 goals so far.
Yeah. That isn't many, is it?
Did you know something? Sunderland have only conceded 7.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's also not that many, isn't it? David in Portsmouth says, I always thought marvellous.
Wouldn't it be fantastic if the reason Arsenal don't win the league this season, the reason they come second, is because Sunderland win it? I mean, who had that on their bingo card?
David Portsmouth says, I always thought Marvellous Nakamba was extremely arrogant to rate himself with such a name. Keith, the Man United fan of Manchester, says, what about Frank Bruno Fernandes? That works in many ways. Jovial Jack Grealish, says Neil, an Arsenal fan. Mardy Bruno Fernandes is another one that we had in as well. Angry John McGinn, says Keith. Salty Simon Jordan says, I presume because he says Wayne, because he enhances flavour. And Griffin Kingsley went very route one. Just said, crap Walker Peters. And excuse the language, I think he's got a good player, but it really did make me laugh. Thank you, Griff. To Old Trafford then, 3 wins in a row for Manchester United. What did you make of this one?
Are we all wrong? Has Ruben Amorim made fools of us all, Max? I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah, it was an undeniably impressive performance. I think I said last week this will be a test of United's mettle because Brighton are a good team, and Brighton sort of have had the wood over Manchester United for the last few seasons. I think beating them in 5 of the last 6, something like that. But no, United, I was impressed with them yesterday, and they are starting to look like a team. But who knew if you start winning games, your confidence improves? But I still think it's too early to state that, Amorim has known what he was at all along, but we'll see. I mean, that guy with the big hair, he's just 2 wins away from a trip to the barber now.
Do you think he wants it?
I don't think so, no.
No.
I think he secretly, because it's kind of his USP, isn't it? Or his OSP. And I think, sometimes you'll see some mountain sheep will be found, after about 15 years, and he has it without being sheared.
Yeah,
and it's just this massive pile of wool with a head sticking out of it. I think he wants to end up like that.
Yeah, possibly. We wouldn't be talking about him. I mean, he's getting a lot of airtime everywhere, isn't he? And just from not going, I mean, it's just like everyone in COVID didn't cut their hair. That's all we all did, right?
no one's paying any attention to me. I haven't had a haircut for 4 years.
Matthias Cunha was excellent. He had one sight before scoring. A lot of people talked about how well he played at Anfield. First goal for him. And again, it's a beautiful finish. Not unlike your man who scored, Talby, scored for Sunderland. Like, it's such a nice finish. Good work from Fernandes and Casemiro.
We've been dishing apologies out today, Max. I think I owe Matthias Cunha an apology as well, because when he went to Manchester United, and again, I was not alone in this. I was thinking, he's a bit of a maverick. He doesn't put in the work. He's not going to be tracking back or putting in tackles or any of that. And when the chips are down, he won't get stuck in, roll his sleeves up and get stuck in. And nothing could be further from the truth. He put in a massive shift against Liverpool, doing the dirty work as well as everything else. And the same again here yesterday. And he clearly, just on the evidence of his post-match interview, he is a massive Man United fan, and he's thrilled just to be at Manchester United.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And he's got something about him, people, we're always desperate to compare and sort of say there's a touch of the Cantonars about him, and I kind of see it. Obviously, again, too early to make that comparison for what he did for Manchester United, but he's got those kind of vibes, hasn't he? And Mbeumo is sort of more solid, but actually, did really well. And I did think for that third goal, like, I know there's something about how long you can pull a shirt for before it matters or not, but Ruta is pulled by Shaw, right? Shaw has his shirt. Ruta stops and goes, well, come on, stop doing that. And it is a foul, right? And so it feels so clear and obvious to me. I don't think it necessarily changes the result, but I would be annoyed if I was Fabian Hürzeler, although he doesn't seem a man to annoy quickly. But I thought that was a bad decision. Yeah.
Oh, he's very quickly annoyed.
Oh, is he?
I mean,
well,
the amount of yellow cards he gets is phenomenal.
Well, I take it back.
Certainly last season. I don't know how he's getting on this season.
Well, that powder keg, as I've been saying, that powder keg of a person, powder keg Hürzeler, he just would have exploded that. Because even I was a bit annoyed. I thought Sesko had a good game for Manchester United. Lamens made one really good save and they had to pretend he hadn't touched it, which I always enjoy. But yeah, very, very good win for Manchester United. 3 in a row. Finally, Newcastle, Fulham. Here's my question, Barry. Would Fulham have been better off yesterday with Shirley Bassey at centre-back?
I'm not sure they would have been worse.
Yeah. Poor bloke.
Yeah, he had one of those days, didn't he? I think Yasin Yari, the Brighton player, had one as well. Because United's second goal, didn't he? He turned his back to the shot. If he doesn't do that, it doesn't go in. Yeah. Take it in the face. You're on the big box, Yasin. Take it in the face.
It's well established. Turning your back is the worst thing you can do as a
apart from spitting.
Well, of course, spitting, turning your back.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, you
swapping your shirt at half time.
Oh, that's also bad. Yeah. Smiling within 6 years of a defeat, also bad.
Going to the supermarket after a defeat to buy some groceries. How dare you?
How dare you feed your children? You lost 2-0 to Cheltenham yesterday. What are you doing? Anyway, he didn't have a good day, did he, Calvin? I think he's a good player.
Look, we all have bad days, Max.
We all do, yeah.
Just Calvin's picked probably a wrong day to have such a bad day. Yeah. But it was another good win for Newcastle. Left it kind of late. Was it? Yeah, it was quite late.
It was really late,
Yeah. But
I accidentally wrote that Jay Leno should have pushed the shot from Asula clear. And then I looked at my notes saying, well, it's obviously burnt Leno. But now I've written Jay Leno. Should I delete it because I've seen it? Or shall I keep it in there? Because I quite like the idea of, Fulham playing with Jay Leno in goal and Shirley Bassey at centre-back. It's ambitious from Marco Silva. I'm not sure what he's looking to do here, but maybe they've got a real connection.
Do Fulham fans need to start worrying, Max? 5 or 4 in a row they've lost now? And the 3 promoted teams they've all got a bit of something about them.
Should Fulham fans worry? Let me have. I'm just trying to think if I think.
And so Leeds, Burnley, Sunderland, they're all showing strong signs of life. So who needs to worry? West Ham obviously need to worry.
Yeah,
Wolves clearly need to worry. I'm saying Fulham need to start worrying a little bit.
Do you think the Dyche effect means Forest will be absolutely fine?
I do, yes. Mm-hmm. Dyche, Woney, Stoney, they'll sort them out.
Yeah, I think so. Well, when you put it like that, maybe they do need to worry. But I think I wouldn't worry if I was a Fulham fan. I would still try and have a nice afternoon today. I wouldn't be beset with worry today. But, I'd start thinking about worrying.
You'd still be enjoying your cheese board and your hummus.
Yeah.
Your olives.
Foie gras, my breakfast of foie. As all Fulham fans.
Yes.
So yeah. Matt says, how long have you had that Shirley Bassey joke in the locker? Tremendous, says Matt. Well, actually it just came to me today. I don't think I need to explain it. But it did. I was pleased with it myself. I was pleased with the reaction I got from Barry. I'm pleased with the reaction I got from you, Matt. If anyone else would like to praise it, 8:10:89 at Max Rushden, at Barry Glendenning. It's the two of us until 1:30 on the warm-up on talkSPORT, the world's biggest sports radio station. Lee Phelps will join us in just a second. Morning all, Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning with you on the warm-up until 1:30. Vince says, as a Fulham fan, I'm worrying already. Think we've had a tough run, still not putting that many points on the board yet. Billy and Jarrow says, did you think of that Shirley Bassey joke the minute you walked in the joint? Good, that's good stuff. Nick, the Fulham fan, sorry to burst your bubble, but you hear, come on Shirley, every week at Fulham. I wasn't to know, was I? You know, two people can come up with the same idea. I want to congratulate you on your Shirley Bassey patter this morning. Bassey was discussed on our group chat this morning. Great to hear our views validated by one of the great football minds. There have been a flurry of voice notes since, says this text message. And Jerry says, when Morgan Gibbs-White first appeared on the scene, I thought it was his missus that was playing, as in Morgan Gibbs' wife. It's a nice idea, isn't it? Anyway, do you want to win £100,000? Not you, Barry. Listeners, listen up right now if you weren't listening already. Not sure what you were doing. That's right. Our biggest cash prize to date has landed. We're going all in, giving you the chance to win that huge £100,000 completely tax-free. Here is how you win it.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a TalkSPORT limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
All right, let's look at the latest odds ahead of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Lee Phelps joins us. Welcome, Lee. I've heard, Lee, you've put your back out. Are you horizontal or how are you? What's going on?
Well, news travels fast, doesn't it? I it's one of those innocuous ones where I knelt down to do my shoes up and it went. And so I was supposed to be with you today, but I'm able to stand here. It took me about half an hour to walk from the back door through the garage into this bit, but I'm here, and I'm not going to move from here now for a while.
I ripped my neck on Tuesday carrying a 3-year-old back to bed, and I trod on a bit of train track and I overstepped, and then he was in the bed and I was lying there just on my front, and I was like, I can't move my head either way, and this is a disaster. But you know, I feel your pain, Lee. Yes, Barry, did you want to come in on this subject?
Well, I wanted to ask Lee, I would like to extend my sympathies to Lee for his bad back. There's nothing worse than not a few things, ailments worse than a bad back. But I noticed Hearts are about to host Celtic, Lee. And I'm not saying your odds makers don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they arrive at their odds. But Celtic are the favourites for this game. Yeah. And I really don't think they should be.
No, and I tend to agree. But, you know, there's a reason why they've put them in those prices. Obviously, Celtic are still 1-3 to win the title. You know, the William Hill Scottish Premiership is wide open. But, you know, Celtic, I guess the thinking is that they'll come good at some point. And I guess we think in terms of the win prices, Barry, don't we? The draw's a big player here, isn't it? Let's be honest. So, you know, they started out at 23-10 Hearts. More than double the amount of bets on the 90 minutes have been with Hearts. They've been backed into 2-1. Celtic currently 6-5. The draw 12-5. I think the draw is probably the play here.
Personally, I would go for the Hearts win, but
yeah,
anyway.
I mean, if you don't want to touch the outright, I mean, there's another one where Shankland and Braga have both been in good goal scoring form. There's a price boost on Claudio Braga to score and Hearts to win either 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1, and that's 17-2. And I think if you think Hearts are going to win, then maybe look at Braga to score in a Hearts win, because he's been everything that's been good about them, he's been a part of. So yeah, it looks a great price.
How is south of the border? Are you paying out on Arsenal now?
I was listening to your discussion. A lot of people in the game say until the clocks go back, you don't really start looking at the league table. Well, we're here now, I guess, aren't we? Finally. But after 2 weeks, people are saying, you know, Liverpool have won the title. Yeah, I mean, it's like Arsenal are 4-7 at the moment, but Liverpool were a really short price earlier on. City 11-4. Liverpool now 6-1 from 4-1. Man United 20-1. Sunderland in from 2,000 to 1 to 200 to 1, Barry. That's shorter than Villa, by the way. And we took a couple of 50 quid bets on them at 2,000 to 1. I was looking at some other odds as well around Sunderland. So top six, they were 75 to 1 when they opened up. The 14 to 1 for top six, taking bets on 50 to 1 for them for that. Top half finish. They're now 4-1. They were 33s. And again, we had some decent bets at 33-1. So there's some Sunderland fans who are a little bit more confident than you were, Barry. 9-2 for relegation. So they're shorter to finish in the top half than to be relegated at the moment, which is great news for Sunderland fans.
By the way, Lee, I don't know if you heard the start of the show, but I had a great anecdote about my watch going back.
Yeah, I did.
I was surprised you joined the show. I'm trying to you joined the show, Lee.
That was on my walk. That was on my walk from the back door to the garage. So listen to that.
Oh no! And the radio was on in the background. You couldn't run over to the radio and turn it off. You poor man. How's final one standing looking then?
Yeah, well, a few went through on the £500,000 jackpot. A few went through yesterday. Leeds accounted for over 16% of the players. Man United, Newcastle, Arsenal. So about 35% are already through. Chelsea cost 20% of players their place in the game. Today, 35% have gone Bournemouth. 6% are with Wolves as well. I mean, I think it's a great afternoon of football. Obviously, we've got the El Clasico as well. Which looks primed for a bet builder with all the attacking quality on show and the how feisty it can get with cards and tackles. But of those games this afternoon, Bournemouth, one of the big favourites against Forest. We've got Aka Boost here at William Hill in shops on an app. I'd be putting them in with Arsenal, with City. I'd probably leave Everton, Tottenham and Wolves, Burnley alone in terms of an Aka. I think Burnley at 3-1 are a decent price, though. They've had some hard games so far this season. I don't think that they should be 3-1 at Wolves, who are odds on. I mean, I couldn't be backing Wolves at odds on, to be honest. Maybe chuck in one of the European games, Bayer Leverkusen at home to Freiburg for your Aka. It's around 8-1. And we've got epic boosts. We've had 3 epic boosts this weekend already. All 3 have won. So the traders are kind of under the table at the minute. We had Bowen to have a shot on target on Friday night. We had Mbumo to have a shot on target yesterday. And we had Salah to score or assist. All 3 copped. And this afternoon's is Erling Haaland to score. Even money from happen. 4 to 6. He scored in 12 successive games for club and country, and you get impact subs. So in the unlikely event that he goes off without having scored, his replacement carries on your epic boost. So loads going on. We've got the William Hill Old Rowan Chase Day at Aintree as well. We've got NFL. We've got loads of offers going on across the board. So looking forward. I'm going to lay down, get in a comfortable position, and listen to sport.
Good stuff. Cheers, Lee. That was the latest odds brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Final One Standing. New from William Hill. 18+. GambleAware.org. Terms and conditions apply.
You mentioned that huge game in the Scottish Premiership, Hearts versus Celtic. Let's get the team news from Paul Mitchell. Hey, Paul.
Good afternoon, gents. Hearts are unchanged for the 5th consecutive time. They've won their last 4 without conceding, so they go same again. Showallow and goal, back 4. McEntee, Halkett, Finlay and Kingsley. Milne, Devlin, Beningame and Kyrgios and Shankland and Braga. Up front, Celtic, well, it looks problematic for Celtic. They lost Alistair Johnson, Kelechi Iheanacho and Cameron Carter-Vickers through injury against Sturm Graz. None of them make it. Indeed, Cameron Carter-Vickers has an Achilles injury which could keep him out until March. In come Colby Donovan, Dane Murray for just his 7th Celtic start, and Johnny Kennedy. So it's Schmeichel in goal, Donovan, Murray, Scales and Tierney, Engels, McGregor, Hattati, Nygren, Kenny and Tunekti. Hearts could go 8 points clear of Celtic should they win this one at Tynecastle. It's going to be some battle here.
Good stuff, Paul. You listen to the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max and Barry here until 1:30.
Tyson Fury, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. Just hearing these names makes you think money and the hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds or Saudi riyals in boxing. But that's at the top. At the bottom, it isn't quite the same. Even for those on the rise, there's not an awful lot of cash in the boxing world. And if you're just starting out, well, it can be a very costly exercise indeed. But don't take my word for it. Here's the former European champion, talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against the real prospects, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
Sakamoto! 3-0, Coventry City, and Sakamoto from the edge of the penalty area, as simple as Route 1 football. Coventry City are going to extend their unbeaten run and extend their lead at the top of the championship. Full-time, Coventry City 3, Watford 1.
Aziz in behind, Aziz brings it down and scores! Brilliant skill from Femi Aziz, and Millwall lead right on half-time. Ivanovic, hands on hips, steps up now, right-footed, and saved by Stolacic, plunging to his right-hand side. Super save to deny Millwall a second. There goes the full-time whistle. 4 straight wins for Millwall, and it's all celebration here at the Den. No one likes them, they don't care. They only care about where they are in the table. They're third, full-time at the Den. Millwall 1, Leicester City 0.
Yeah, Millwall absolutely flying third in the championship. Coventry top, 3 points clear of Middlesbrough in between those two. We'll get to all of those in a second. Let's do some EFL, and with Dan Fudge, host of the EFL Fan Network, big Wednesday fan. Hey, Dan, you okay?
How's it going, Max? You all right? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Renaud, it's a pleasure. Let's start at Hillsborough, right? I mean, you lost to Oxford. You're on -6 points at the bottom. But probably the best thing I saw yesterday was on the big screen before the game, the kind of, the little video that they did saying, look, Chansiri is gone. And it was kind of like system error. We've deleted this file, rebooting, calling in the administrators. Then it had, a nice montage of, great Sheffield Wednesday moments. But it's weird to be, at the bottom and so far adrift and actually have hope for the first time.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing about all of this. We're in administration. There's going to be local suppliers not receive as much money as they thought. There may even be some jobs at stake. However, we have had confirmation from the administrators that that's not the case straight away. But it's an odd feeling to be celebrating administration because we've finally seen the back of this tyrant that's been in charge of the club. It's weird, if I'm honest, Mike. It's weird.
Yeah, Ben Fisher was on yesterday, the Guardian's EFL correspondent. He messaged me saying that 120,000 people watched a live stream of the seats spelling out Chansiri's name being ripped out of the North Stand. So, and the point is, you can, like, you look at Coventry, right, at top of the Championship. I think they were in League Two. They're definitely in League One. Like, you might go down this year. There's every chance, but the club is yours, right? And okay, you need to find an owner, and there is a long road ahead. But that whole point about existing and being for the community and all those things, that is a possibility now.
Yeah, there's a number of people who put a good amount of work into ensuring that we let the chairman know how unhappy we are, and there's been a lot of support as well. And I think the last time I was on the show, we were speaking about the support from the football family as well, from other fans of other clubs, which has genuinely been amazing. And that video that you're talking about, that live stream of the seats getting ripped out, I think whilst wonderful, I think somebody underestimated just how big a job it was, because we've only got rid of the CH so far. So keep an eye on that, lads. I'm hoping they've monetised that channel.
Stay where you are, Barry. I know you got a question. And so we are, Dan. There's been a goal in that huge game at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Paul Mitchell watching for talkSPORT.
And it's been coming all the way, and it's come for Harlem and Lothian, who lead by 1-0 against Celtic. Brilliant save by Schmeichel from Braga's header from 8 yards. He touched it onto the post. Lauren Shanklin followed up, cracked the ball across goal, and Dane Murray put it through his own net. Hearts leading Celtic by 1-0.
All right, thanks, Paul. Max and Barry here on the warm-up till 1:30. Dan Fudge with us, doing some EFL. Barry had a question.
Yeah, Dan, I'm not super au fait with how administration works. One of the big problems Sheffield Wednesday had was that Chansiri was asking for too much money to sell the club. Does he still get to set the price, or do the administrators set the price of sale?
The administrators, Begbie's trainer, who've been involved in this sort of thing before, are essentially now tasked with making sure the club can operate, people are getting paid, which is obviously the most important thing, and it becomes a sustainable asset, and it remains as an entity. In terms of setting the price to be sold to go forward, it's them who do it. Dejphon Chansiri is no longer involved with the running of the club, and you can tell that by the tone of the social media posts. For example, Chansiri changed our crest about 8-9 years ago, and we've straight away the club's X and Facebook account have gone back to the old owl badge and things like that. Everybody's off the chain. No one's getting managed. They're all out of control, Barry. It's absolutely insane.
It's a great, I thought about that video and you thought, God, there have been people at that club just like turning up for work and just being like, I cannot wait until this moment. Yeah. Now they are just letting themselves go, and like, good for them. Obviously on the pitch you lost to Oxford. We know like how difficult it has been with the squad and so many young players. So sort of whatever happens this season is sort of immaterial, I guess, if you survive. But let's go to the top of the Championship quickly. Coventry, another win for them, and they are just doing so well. And it's just such a fascinating top of the Championship when none of the relegated sides are anywhere, right? Leicester are 10th. Ipswich, got a massive win actually yesterday at 12th, aren't they? And Southampton, wow, we're just 2 points above the relegation zone.
Yeah, Coventry aren't just winning either. They're absolutely battering teams. I think 3 of the top 5 goal scorers of the league all play for Coventry. You've got Brandon Thomas Asante, who's just flying the goals in, and like I said, they're not just winning, they're decimating their opponents. Watford are no pushovers, they've been in the Championship a long time. They're capable of getting smashed one week and then winning handsomely the next. It's kind of how the Championship works, right? But but they are absolutely swatting teams aside, left, right, and centre. And as daft as it sounds, given the times that Frank Lampard's had the big job in the Premier League, I don't really begrudge him any success, if I'm honest. I feel like he's a nice fella, and you kind of go, do you know what, you're all right. Unlike, Chris Wilder, who I'm meant to just dislike, but I feel like Frank's a bit of a classier chap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've been apologising to various people we've wronged today. Dan, Frank Lampard's another one. When he got the Coventry job, I said I couldn't understand why anyone would give him a job. He's certainly making me look an idiot now. Down near I suppose Millwall, they're looking... I mean, they're surprising a lot of people under Alex Neil this season.
The weirdest thing about Millwall is that people kind of fancied them at the start of the season and they didn't really set the world on fire. Although recently now they're absolutely they're tearing away. I'm just trying to look up their last 5 streak. They've got 4 on the bounce, and they don't look like slowing down. They've signed very well, and if you make the new den in new money, the place to get your points, great, that's brilliant. But they're starting to win on the road now. They're tight, they're compact, they're difficult to beat. Fair play to Millwall, because they've always been there and thereabouts, and sometimes never really got over the line. But I'm chuffed for them. They're doing all right, and it's nice to break up that little crowd of relegated Premier League teams, because at the top of the league you've got Borough, who are always seem to be the bridesmaids wherever they go. Millwall, who've just completely crashed the party. Bristol City in fourth, who lost handsomely to Sheffield United in the playoffs last year. So and Stoke and Charlton. What is happening in this league? I absolutely love Championship football right now.
So there we are, another goal at Hearts. Paul Mitchell.
What a belter of a game this is. Celtic are level just 4 minutes after going behind to Dane Murray on goal. Callum McGregor, the skipper, influential, worked a lovely ball out wide to Tunekti. Tierney then got the crossover, and Callum McGregor just turned the ball into the back of the net. Brilliant response from Celtic. What a game at Tynecastle. Hearts 1, Celtic 1.
Cheers, Paul. Barry? You were about to jump in with a question, if you can still remember it.
Well, I was going to go further down the table, where Norwich have just lost their 5th game in a row. Liam Manning has to be under pressure, one presumes.
We spoke to a Norwich fan on the EFL Fan Network every Thursday at 5 p.m. We spoke to a Norwich fan last week, and he was genuinely shocked that Liam Manning would still be in charge at the weekend. It was Thursday we spoke to him. We said, do you think Liam's under pressure? And he said, I was actually shocked to see he still had his job in the morning. It's that bad at Norwich. And with Norwich, because of their flirtation with the Premier League as many times in the last 5 or 6 years that they've had, there's a different set of pressures. Because when Manning was in charge at Bristol City, and they kind of up there in the playoffs, everybody's like, oh, plucky old Bristol City, well done. But with Norwich, there's a lot more pressure on top of that, and I feel that the Norwich fans have had their fill of the young charming man.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Liam Manning, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you never know, maybe he'll get more time. Just a quick one on Hillsborough, a couple of questions about whether Chancery or a separate company he own Hillsborough, and what happens to that. Do you know?
Okay, so we sold our stadium to ourselves, and a separate company was set up called Sheffield 3. That too has also gone into administration as well. Okay. And I believe that when it comes to finding a new buyer, which I believe there are 4 in the frame right now. I don't know how much I can say about that. Obviously, I'm in the know, but there are 4 potential suitors coming into Sheffield Wednesday. It's going to get sold as a package, as it were. I appreciate that's a pertinent question for a lot of people, because that modern trend of selling the stadium to yourself seems to be an overarching thing. But I believe Chelsea have a unique deal with their ground. I believe that the fans own the grass, I believe.
They own the pitch, yes.
Yeah. So, we might come up with something like that, something creative.
Okay, Dan, you're going to play the footballer game in a sec, aren't you? It's very kind of you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, well, we'll do that in just a second. John says, Dear Max and Barry, can you please solve a puzzle for me and confirm the purpose of the footballer game is to allow Barry's voice to have a rest or allow him time for a comfort break. Been a big fan of the show for years, with the exception of the soap opera you used to do, of which I cannot remember the name as I have erased it from my memory. John in County Mayo. Oh, the Sturmy Archers might make a return one day. You never know. Anyway, Perry Groves will join me, Barry and Dan for our four-way footballer game in just a second.
Super Ali, ole, ole, ole.
I mean, age has got nothing to do with it. I know you're 83. Well, you should know better. Hang your head in shame, lad.
Vomit on his sweater already, mom spaghetti.
Russell Martin. I'd have preferred Bob Martin.
The first question I've got for you two, who's Bob Martin?
A German thoroughbred horse, Jurgen Kloppity Klopp.
I think Quacky Chance killed it for me. Nailed it.
And Scotland's biggest hero provides a goal at last after missing too much easier chances.
I wondered what was happening there for a second. Super Ali McCoist. What a man. What a guy he is. Back alongside the mighty Jeff Stelling this Monday from 6 on breakfast. Be to tune in to take on, to get their take on the weekend's football, including Sunday's 5 juicy Premier League fixtures and Danny Roll's first game in the Ibrox home dugout. National treasures Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist on your radio and smart TV from 6 o'clock. Don't be late. It says here, let's play the footballer game. It's me, V. Barry, versus Dan Fudge. Dan, who does the Fan Network every Tuesday afternoon at 5, breaks down the biggest talking points from across the EFL, available wherever you get your podcasts as well. And Perry Groves is going to join us too. Hey, Perry.
Good morning, boys. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Where do we find
Afternoon,
you today?
actually.
Afternoon, yeah.
I've got the same watch as Barry.
Have you? Of course, that was a good story.
Should have
that,
gone back.
wasn't
So
it?
exactly. I was
We'll
gripped.
never forget. We'll never forget that one. Hey, where are you today?
I'm at Villa Man City for Sunday Around the Grounds Game Day live session. So I've just covered all boxes there. And the aforementioned Richard Wilkins, he had the second longest throw in West Suffolk district side.
Is that right? And you had longer, did you?
Oh, it's funny you should say that, Max. Actually, yeah, I did have quite a long throw. Yes, I did. I played in the same team as Tricky Dicky when I was,
He was a good player,
14, 15. Very good midfield player.
Very good midfielder. John Beck stopped him playing, but he was still good.
Well, we could put it in the corners. John Beck, John Beck's back. John Beck is back, isn't he?
Where's he managing now?
No, he's back. His football's back. He said, get it in the corners, get it in behind long ball. He's back.
Yeah. And even Arteta, there was no hot water for Atletico Madrid when they were training at the Emirates before the Champions League match. That's a Beck tactic, isn't it?
Well, it's Thames Water's fault. You know what they're like, Barry.
I do. Very expensive.
This show is brought to you by Thames Water. Anyway, right. So yeah, well, lots of 2 o'clock kickoffs. You've got a busy show, haven't you? Should we play the footballer game? Should we do that? Hey, Dan, have you played before?
Just remind me of the rules, just so I don't start chiming in.
Oh, no, chime in.
We
That's
want
the whole
you
point.
to chime
That's
in.
the point.
We want you to chime in. If you think you know, shout. That's the only thing. You will hear the appearances and goals of a footballer, and you just have to get who it is. I got the first 2 I got yesterday. I demanded they got put on Instagram, and they haven't been yet. It's very upsetting, but I was absolutely sensational. But here we go. Shout if you think you know. Reese is our host today. Hey, Reese.
Hey.
Out of 10, how are you?
1.5 maybe at best.
Okay, good. Let's play.
Our first footballer began his career at West Ham United in 2002, where he stayed until 2003, not scoring in any of his 15 appearances, taking in an 8-game goalless loan at Millwall in 2002. He then moved on to Chelsea in 03, where he stayed until 07, scoring 3 times in 42 games. He was loaned to Portsmouth for the 2006-07 season, where he didn't score in 26 games. Then made the move to Fratton Park Permanent, where he stayed between 2007 and 2009, scoring 4 times in 58 games before moving on to Liverpool in 2009, where he stayed until 2015, scoring 8 goals in 160 before finishing his career with Stoke City between 2015 and 2018, not scoring in any of his 57 appearances.
I am absolutely nothing. Come on, Fudge. What have you got?
I'm struggling. What's
Wayne Bridge?
It's not Wayne Bridge, no.
It's Wayne Bridge.
Between 2003 and 2014, he made 54 appearances and scored once for England.
It's not Glenn Johnson.
It is Glenn Johnson.
Oh, he's Glenn Johnson.
It is Glenn
Did he
Johnson.
play for West? Did he never play for West Ham?
He started at West Ham, went on loan to Millwall.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, I should have said it with a bit more
Every day's a school day.
I don't think Max should get that point
because he said it's not.
He said it's not Glenn Johnson.
Send him to the screen. VAR.
We'll send it to the screen.
Check.
No, he can't get that point.
What do you mean I can't get that?
Because
point?
you specifically said it is not Glenn Johnson.
So you're saying what I was saying was it was literally any other footballer on earth.
He was ruling out
discounting.
Glenn Johnson.
And you were wrong. Because it was Glenn Johnson.
Okay, I won't take the point.
Right.
If it matters to you that much, Barry, I won't take the point. Still 0-0. Let's go with player 2.
Our second footballer began his career at Nottingham Forest in 1988, where he stayed until the year 2000, not scoring in any of his 303 appearances.
Steve Sutton.
Nope, taking in a loan at Manchester United in 1990, where he didn't play or score, and another loan at Millwall.
Neil Webb.
Nope, where he didn't score in any of his 14 appearances. In the year 2000, he went to Middlesbrough, where he played 23 times and didn't score. Taking in another.
Craig Hignett.
No, he took in 2 loans at Stoke City in 2002 and 2003. Once where he played once
Colin
and didn't
Cooper.
score. Nope. And once where he played 11 times and didn't score. Fulham between 2003 and 2007, where he didn't
Mark
score.
Crossley.
It is Mark Crossley.
Oh.
So sorry, Mark. I mean, how are you all going for players when he's literally scored no goals in his entire career?
He's actually scored for Sheffield Wednesday. I was waiting for that.
Can I show Reese my workings here?
I'd love to see.
Where after Millwall, I wrote down Mark Crossley.
He did. He absolutely did.
But I forgot to say it.
Did you put?
The aim of the game.
Did
though.
you write down? It's not Mark Crossley.
No, I just wrote Mark Crossley. I wrote Manchester United, Millwall, Mark Crossley, Stoke.
Why didn't you say it,
I
Barry?
don't know.
Okay, well,
What I should have said is, it is Mark Crossley.
so do I get a point for that one?
No, you do, because I didn't say it. I got it, I just didn't say I'd got it.
Okay, let's go with player 3.
Our final footballer began his career at Liverpool in 1996, staying until the year 2000, scoring 5 goals in 48 games, taking in a 10-game goalless loan at Swindon Town in the 97-98 season. He moved to Coventry in the year 2000, where he stayed until 2002, scoring 17 goals in 69 games before moving on to Blackburn, where he stayed for 4 years between 02 and 06. Nope, where he scored 7 goals in 65 games. He was then off to Wigan.
Florence Cinema Pongo.
Nope. In 2006, it was Wigan, where he scored twice in 10 games before moving to Portsmouth halfway through the season, where he stayed until the end of the season, not scoring in any of his 14 games, before finishing his career at Bolton Wanderers in 2007, where he didn't score in any of his 8 games.
Mike Marsh.
Spearing.
No.
I know who this is, and I can't remember.
Barry, whatever you've
his
written
name.
down, just say it out loud.
I'll just say it's not him.
I remember seeing him score a brilliant goal for Coventry against Wimbledon at Selhurst Park. He's a small, diminutive midfielder in the
Mike Marsh.
Joey Barton mould. Short, dark hair. Can I draw a picture?
Not necessarily the mould. Not necessarily the mould you want to be in. But
No, I mean that purely in the football perspective.
Got it.
Does that mould need to be broken?
I think I know. I know what you mean.
I can't
now.
remember his name.
Yeah, sort of wispy.
How tall, Baz?
About short, like 5'8", 9.
Have we got any international appearances?
Side parting, middle parting?
2 goals in 7 games between 1997 and 1999 for the England under-21s, if that helps.
Yeah,
Probably
I'm not going to get his name, but I can picture him in my mind's eye.
That is, we do need the name.
That's a point then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think between that and writing down Mark Crossley, I deserve
should have a point.
Come on,
Is it
Liverpool.
David
Thompson.
He's David Thompson, yeah.
Oh, Ickle David Thompson.
Yeah.
Little David Thompson.
I
you
deserve
still there,
half
Dan?
a point for that.
You still there? Dan?
I'm still here trying to remember who
Good.
David Thompson was. But
That's all right. You did say Cinema Pongal, so that was for you. Did enter the game,
yeah.
so thanks for that. Thanks for coming on, Dan. Cheers. Thank you, Perry. Have a good show, mate.
Toodle pip.
So I think I got 3 really, but we'll call it 2. We'll call it 1.5. You can have half for David. You know, it's just a friendly game. Doesn't mean much, does it? It's Max and Barry here on the warm up. Marcus Speller will join us on the Football Ramble and on the talkSPORT Goals show as well. We'll look ahead to lots of games in the Premier League later this afternoon. Good afternoon. You are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. For the latest big trade deals, head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Let's welcome Marcus Speller, talkSPORT Gold's regular host of the Football Ramble. Welcome, Marcus.
Good to be here, Max. How you doing?
Yeah, very good. Got a good afternoon of football, haven't we?
Oh,
Five is, I sometimes look at Saturday when it's only 4 ago. That's a shame. But then obviously it's made up for by this amount of football on a Sunday.
Absolutely right. Yeah, we have to keep our powder dry, but we do get there in the end.
Yeah, we always get every weekend. There is enough football. I'm not worried. There's enough football. Where should we start? Should we start with Sean Dyche's first Premier League game? Obviously, we got off to that win. I felt so sorry for Ange. Sean Dyche turns up. They get 2 penalties. They win a game. And, they played pretty well. And maybe he deserves all the credit. And I shouldn't feel sorry for Ange. But there was just something about that's all you have to do is just turn up and win one game.
Do you reckon, Max and Marcus, does he just not look at that game, or does he sit down on the sofa with a bowl of popcorn and a bottle of beer and go, right, let's see what you can do? And then after about half an hour, it just sheepishly turns over to Celebrity Traitors instead?
I don't know. I think he probably went back to Salt Bay's restaurant with his Europa League winners medal around his neck. I've no idea. Yeah, I know it must be. I'd love to get that kind of insight from a manager where it's gone in very much one direction, and then a new manager comes in and gets that new manager bounce, which we didn't see under Postecoglou at all at Forest. You say 2 penalties. I thought they were fairly decent value against a good Porto side, Max. But I understand that you've got to somehow try and stick up for your former manager, and I love that kind of loyalty. But yes, Bournemouth away is a tough fixture. Bournemouth going very well. People were concerned about Bournemouth before the season, having sold a few defenders, of course. But they kept Iraola, and he's the man there, and they kept Semenyo, of course, who's a phenomenal player. So this is going to be a tough assignment, and we're going to see, I think, as we have come to know, a sort of archetypal Sean Dyche performance from Forest, because Bournemouth are full of beans, they're full of running, they're full of creative ideas. So how are you going to try and tackle that? Well, according to Sean Dyche, the old ways are back in vogue. They're going to sit deep. They're going to play it into the channels. They're going to use long throw-ins, and they're going to see if they can do what they did against Porto, essentially. So an intriguing one. But there's no doubt that there's a much better feeling among the Forest fans now Dyche is there, because let's be honest, he was... After Ange came in and everyone was immediately asking him about the Europa League final and all that kind of stuff, it was just like, yeah, this man clearly needed more time in between that Spurs sacking and taking a new job. Excuse me. Whereas Dyche came in, started playing the hits, and if you bring Stone and Wone with you, fans are going to love that.
Yeah, I have a limited amount of space in my brain for football knowledge, so as I watch one
just
game,
heard the game, yeah.
Another exits. So Sean Dyche has managed Chris Wood before at Burnley. I can't remember. Did they have a good relationship? Did Wood play well for Dyche at Burnley?
And he did okay, yeah. I mean, he's playing the best football of his career at Forest. I mean, that's quite clear. So, I would have thought, yeah.
So Arsenal Palace today, it's shaping up to be a superb weekend for Arsenal. Can they do their own bit by beating Palace? Palace's record against them is not good, as far as I know.
Yeah, I predicted Arsenal to win the league just before the season kicked off.
Oh, aren't you kidding?
If they don't go on to win the league now, I will take it personally. And I'm not an Arsenal fan. They have such an opportunity. I mean, Liverpool, we're expecting them to click at some point. Whether they will or not will remain to be seen. But the fact is, they are losing and they're not picking up the points as they did last season. Arsenal have got to make the most of that. So Arsenal are in pole position now. They have the best squad, you would say, or certainly the best balance in the Premier League among that squad. I know Man City, obviously, away to Villa today, are sniffing around. But my goodness, what an opportunity Arsenal have now. And it's... With last season, I saw Arsenal play against Fulham the other week, my beloved Fulham at Craven Cottage, and I thought, do you know what? I wasn't hugely convinced by them, but they did enough. And Arsenal have got to find that balance, that classic balance of knowing when to flex, knowing when to go for it, and then just doing enough, because it is all about getting over the line this season for Arsenal. And flipping heck, they really do have such an opportunity now. It should make the atmosphere at the Emirates even more bouncy, because Liverpool are just not at the races this season. It's quite obvious.
Yeah, no, I'm not a neutral, right? Because Tottenham are my big team who win things.
Yeah.
But I think I speak for all neutrals. I speak for all neutrals when I say every fibre of my being wants Arsenal to come second again.
Yeah. I'm sorry to kind of go against you. I'm a neutral. I really want them to win the league.
Okay.
Why?
Just because it would feel like a new winner, Barry. That's how long it's been since they won the league. And if they win
Barry
the
was
league,
positing Sunderland win the league. So, it's like there are...
Okay, I think we could all get behind that.
Right, okay, but you prefer Arsenal to City or Liverpool, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I can see clearly.
That. I can see that. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's not... Sorry.
I think that's reasonable. I think it's reasonable, Marcus. I wouldn't be sad if Arsenal won the league. That's not. I'm not here to hate. It's life is. I'm just. I'm too tired to do anything like that. But it would be funny if they came second again. And City go to Villa.
Yes. On that point, Max, it would be funny if they finished second. There's no doubt about that. But having said that, Arsenal fans, I want your team to win the league, though.
Okay. So Man City go to Villa. Villa are on a good run. I mean, they had a sort of odd win against Spurs. Spurs weren't brilliant either, but Villa sort of scored 2 absolute world-class goals and didn't do anything else. But I guess if you do that, that's okay. How do you see this game panning out?
Well, they were on a good run until they went away to go-ahead Eagles. I mean, that was a funny old game. That was. I mean, they should have been about 3-0 up and away at half-time, and then it turned. I think this is an intriguing game, this one, because Man City, they're in the mix. I'm still very much on that kind of, in terms of peak Guardiola at Man City, that peak is past now. And I don't think they are going to win the league. But with Haaland gobbling up the goals and Doku doing his stuff, and you start naming all the players and so on, you think, well, actually, they have got a chance now with Liverpool faltering and Arsenal, yet to fully convince as well. Aston Villa themselves, they've got to get going at some point. A win today would be a big statement for them. They need to get firing because in front of goal, they were very, very sloppy against go-ahead Eagles. Don't want to be too harsh on them. They can't just rely on world-class goals, as you mentioned, against Spurs. Ollie Watkins could do with a bit of a confidence booster as well. And if they get a penalty, they need to score it because they've missed an awful lot though so far this season. So I don't know. Could we see a new penalty taker? That could be something to see if Man City concede one. But an intriguing game though, no doubt, at Villa Park this afternoon.
Yeah, I tend not to watch the Europa League until the final, if I'm honest. But I did watch Villa go. Now, go ahead is a famously tough place to go. And that match was played in apocalyptic weather conditions.
Yeah.
But you have to say, Villa did squander a lot of chances. But I was saying, this was textbook. Can they do it on a wet and windy Thursday night at go ahead? And they couldn't.
In a low-lying country,
yeah, they couldn't do it. They didn't want it, Marcus.
But would you be worried for Villa though, Barry? Because as soon as the tide turned in that game, having been very, very much the dominant side, they suddenly crumbled, and it was all one-way traffic. And then, of course, they got a penalty and missed it. I'm just.
Emi Buendia, I don't think I've ever seen a player look as sad after missing a penalty as Emi Buendia did in that when he missed his towards the end of the game, Villa 2-1 down. I think people always look more miserable when they're soaking wet.
Yeah, it's more miserable, isn't it? It is more being wet. It's more miserable. What am I worrying about, Marcus? I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about. Are you saying getting fourth? I'm worried about that. I mean,
I think with Villa, it's kind of well. I mean, surely, they're in the Europa League. Unai Emery knows that competition very, very well. I thought, well, that's a gimme. I understand they've got the disappointment of not being in the Champions League, but that's kind of a guaranteed trophy, surely, with Unai Emery in charge. That knows how to win that competition. Whereas that result against Go Ahead Eagles was quite a sobering one. But look, chance for them to get back on the wagon, certainly in the Premier League, where they've been misfiring a little bit. As you say, they've gone on that good run. Can they turn it round now and show a bit of something? Because the fans there are thinking, hey, last season, quarter-final of the Champions League, they gave PSG a bit of a bloody nose.
Yeah, they did,
I think they need something. They need a big performance today.
What about Wolves-Burnley? Wolves need a win, don't they? I mean, in terms of saying the bleeding obvious, I have just...
Yeah. Yeah, so I said Villa need a big performance. They're not the only side in the Midlands area who need a big performance. I mean, my goodness, Wolves have been very, very poor. 2 points from 8 games. If they lose this game, they'd be, 8 points from safety already. Now, Vitor Pereira, when he came in towards the end of last season, had an immediate impact. Now, I know they've sold a couple of big players and whatnot, but I was worried for them before the start of the season, and I'm really worried for them now. It's looking pretty bad. And the performances of the promoted sides, Sunderland in particular, of course, Barry, to give them their flowers, that is... West Ham are worried. Even as a Fulham fan, I was thinking, okay, I'm starting to look over my shoulder a little bit here. So with Wolves, it has to be a big performance here. But I would have thought it may play into Burnley's hands. Burnley, when they beat Leeds, was it 2-0 the other week? Leeds had a lot of chances and a lot of the ball. But Burnley, we know they love to defend. They love to hit on the break. This could play into Burnley's hands today. Scott Parker, I think, has done an all right job so far with Burnley in the Premier League. People thought they'd be the whipping boys, and it may well turn out to be the case. Time will tell. But I think they've done okay, Burnley. I think they've ever so slightly gone under the radar. I don't think they've been brilliant. Sunderland are the ones who are getting all the plaudits, rightly so, of the newly promoted sides. But as we can see, it's not like it was last season or even the season before that. Wolves have to win this game. I think even a point won't be good enough. And my goodness, Vitor Pereira, what did he say last season? First the points, then the pints. That man is gasping right now. Absolutely gasping.
I have to say, Marcus, I'm worried about the number of teams you're worried about. I hate to think of you lying in bed at night, unable to sleep, because Wolves might get relegated. A team you have no affiliation to.
And actually, the team you're worried about, Barry, is Fulham, and he is a Fulham fan.
Barry. I mean, Fulham have got Wolves, I think, at home very soon. Maybe even be next in the league. Forgive me if that's wrong, but they're certainly coming up. But they've got a home fixture against Wolves. And last season, Wolves were poor under Gary O'Neill, and they turned up at Craven Cottage. I was thinking 3 points a day. battered us 4-1, and I'm still scarred by that. So Fulham have I think Fulham have done, performance-wise, they've done okay, but yeah, they're a side who really need to start picking up points.
Very quickly, Everton Spurs. Absolutely no idea. You got any idea?
Everton's still unbeaten in their new stadium, I think, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, this game screams to me 1-1 draw, and I wonder if both managers would be fairly content with that. Everton started quite nicely. They had a few new shiny toys, and everyone was like, "Oh, get a load of that!" We just saw a step over at the new stadium. You know, it was quite good. You know, there was some moments, and Jack Grealish, you know, he looks great. We all love him. They've kind of just calmed down a little bit and settling into that mid-table, that sort of area, which I think is probably about right. And my goodness, I know that area of the table well myself. So I think that'll be it. Spurs, the honeymoon period, I think, has been over for a little bit of time now with Thomas Frank. Still doing okay. But again, I think people expecting that little bit more from Spurs, Max, if I may say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think you're probably right, but it's still early in his tenure. Give him some time; it'll all be okay. Hey, thanks, Marcus. Yeah, we do. I had a nice time just then, Marcus.
Pleasure, gentlemen.
Thank you, Marcus.
Marcus Speller there, regular on the Goals Show from the Football Ramble podcast. There are other football podcasts. I don't want to mention it with Marcus around. Good afternoon. It's the warm-up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden, Barry Glendenning here until 1:30. Then Sam Asface and Perry Groves with Sunday Match Day Live. All the goals, they go in around the Premier League. 2 o'clock kickoffs. Let's get team news from all of those. Alfie Reynolds is at Bournemouth Forest. Hey, Alfie.
Hi Max, afternoon. Igor Jesus makes his first Premier League start for Forest. Sean Dyche with just one change from the side who beat Porto, and that's Savona, who comes in for Zinchenko. For Bournemouth, it's also the solo change. Diakite is replaced by Mila Savlovic. So for informed Bournemouth, Petrovic in goal, Jimenez, Mila Savlovic, Senesi and Truffert are the back four. Scott and Adams continue in front of them, with Tavernier, Cliver and Semenyo behind Krupi. It's a tough away day for Sean Dyche's first Premier League match as Forest boss. Sells is in goal, Williams, Murillo, Milenkovic and Savona at the back. Anderson, Louise, Ndoye, Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi all operating behind Igor Jesus. 2 p.m. kickoff. It's Bournemouth hosting Forest.
Cheers, Alfie. Ollie Klink is at the Emirates for Arsenal Palace. Hey, Ollie.
Hi Max, yeah, where Gabriel starts at the back for Arsenal. There were some doubts over his fitness, but he's in from the off this afternoon. There are 2 changes for the Gunners from their win over Atletico Madrid in the week. Luis Skelly and Martinelli dropped to the bench. In come Calafiori and Trossard. And this feels like a real chance for Arsenal to make a statement. With Liverpool stuttering down in 6th, the Gunners could move 5 points clear at the top of the table and 6 clear of Manchester City, who play later on today. There are 3 changes for Palace from their loss to Larnaca on Thursday. Camvo, Hughes and Lerma come out of the side. In come Richards, Wharton and Kamada. After an unbeaten start to the season, Palace have lost 2 of their last 3 in all competitions, and they haven't won here in the league for 6 years. Here are the lineups in full then for Arsenal. It's Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Calafiori at the back, Zubamendi and Rice in midfield, with Saka, Eze and Trossard behind Gyökeres in attack. As for Palace, it's Henderson in goal, Richards, Lacroix and Gahey in a back 3, Munoz and Mitchell are the wing-backs, with Kamada and Wharton in the centre. Pino and Sarr are behind Mateta in attack. At the Emirates, it's Arsenal against Crystal Palace.
Adam Bridge can break it to Ollie that City are playing at a pretty similar time to Arsenal. They're at Villa and Adam is at Villa Park too.
Yes, afternoon Max, afternoon Barry. Aston Villa have won their last 3 Premier League games, looking to make it 4 in a row, and they've actually beaten City here on the last 2 occasions. They make 2 changes from the side that beat Spurs in the Premier League last week. Of course, they did lose to go-ahead Eagles on Thursday night, and that sees Gusson and Milan drop down to the bench, with Buendia and Watkins coming in. So it's Martinez in goal, Cash, Consa, Torres and Dino across the back, Kamara and Onana in midfield, with Buendia, Rodgers and McGinn supporting Ollie Watkins up top, who has just 1 goal in his last 10 Premier League appearances. As for Manchester City, they could go first or second depending on what happens with Arsenal at the same time, 2 o'clock this afternoon. They've made 4 changes from the side which were victorious against Everton last weekend. All 4 changes they dropped down to the bench, so Ake, O'Reilly, Doku and the other change being Gonzalez. They're all involved today. In come Stones, Gvardiol, Silva and Bob. So it's Donnarumma in goal, Nunez, Diaz, Stones and Gvardiol across the back. The holding midfield will be Reinders today, and in the midfield Savinho, Bob, Silva and Foden, with Haaland up top, looking to score in 11 successive games for Manchester City, to be the first player ever to do it. We're underway at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Villa Park for Villa against Man City.
Cheers, Adam. Tomorrow, 6-pointer here, Wolves versus Burnley. Dave Rowe.
Yes, Wolves bottom are still seeking a first win of the season. There are 2 changes from a damaging defeat at Sunderland last week. Hover and Bellegarde come in for Doherty and João Gomez. That's a big call by Pereira to leave Gomez out. So Wolves with Johnson in goal, Hover, Santiano, Bueno, Krejci and Hugo Bueno in the back 4. Manetzi, Andre and Bellegarde in midfield. Arias and Rodrigo Gomez flanking. Larson up front, who is also short of goals this season. For Burnley, yet to pick up a point on the road so far, but a vital victory over Leeds last week. They are unchanged. Dubravka is in goal, Walker, Tuanzebe, Esteve and Harmon, the back 4. Cohen and Florentino in front of them. Larson, Ugachukwu and Anthony behind Zian Fleming. Up front, underway at 2 p.m, Wolves v Burnley.
Thanks very much, Dave. Let's get half-time in the Scottish Premiership right at the top. Hearts in first against Celtic in second. Paul Mitchell.
Well, it's certainly not disappointed. Hearts 1, Celtic 1. Hearts ahead after 8 minutes. Dane Murray with their own goal after severe pressure from Hearts. Schmeichel with a terrific save from Braga. Shanklin back across goal and Murray put through his own net. Celtic, though, responded brilliantly. A fine 5-man move rounded off by Callum McGregor, cutting the ball across from left to right into the far corner for the equaliser. Celtic have played well since then. Could have had A goal that sent them ahead. Benjamin Negron, after 38 minutes, stepped away from Kingsley, thought he'd scored, but Showallow, the Hearts goalkeeper, with a brilliant one-handed save to make it at the break. Hearts 1, Celtic 1.
Cheers, Paul. We'll do some Nottingham Forest in just a second. Justin Mulhouse joins us for Guess the Attendance too.
Tyson Fury, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. Just hearing these names makes you think money and the hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds or Saudi riyals in boxing. But that's at the top. At the bottom, it isn't quite the same. Even for those on the rise, there's not an awful lot of cash in the boxing world. And if you're just starting out, well, it can be a very costly exercise indeed. But don't take my word for it. Here's the former European champion, talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against the real prospects, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
Good afternoon. You are listening to the world's biggest sports radio station, talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Barry Glendenning with you until 1:30. Just seeing that in old striker news, Barry, not only did Billy Sharp score yesterday, Jamie Curitan scored for Kings Park Rangers FC, making him the first player to score in all 10 divisions of the English footballing pyramid, which is such an extraordinary achievement to have, at any one point in one football career, to be good enough to play in each of those levels.
I thought you were going to say it was an extraordinary to be both good enough and bad enough to play at all those levels.
Well, I sort of mean that, but obviously it's not, because he's about 75 years old and he's still playing in the 10th tier. What age is Jamie Curitan? I'm going to say 41. What do you in a sort of birthday spread spin-off?
I'll go higher, Brucey.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say 44.
Right. He's 50. He's 50. He's 50 and still playing in the 10th tier is ridiculous, right? Because the 10th tier of is still pretty damn good. You know, there'll be some 22-year-olds running quite fast and are quite fit, and he's 50 and he's still doing. I think, is he managing? I don't know. But that is extraordinary. And Jamie Vardy as well scored. Who does he play for? He's in Serie A now.
Cremonese?
Is it Cremonese? I should check these things. I should have checked them before I know it. But yeah, he scored.
What are you even doing on talkSPORT, Max? You don't know who...
Yeah. He scored in a 1-1 draw with Cremonese against Atalanta. So well done to Jamie. So good day for old centre forwards. And Danny Welbeck, who must be 100, he scored as
34.
well. So, good for all of them. Charles, the Liverpool fan, says, I enjoy the passive tension and hostility between Barry Glendenning and Justin Morehouse every week. If they weren't in separate rooms, it could easily turn into a sort of comedian MMA. Where does their beef originate? Where does your beef originate? We'll ask you and Justin. So, to my knowledge,
beef.
There's no beef.
And I'm not a comedian, so...
No. Listen, if someone calls you a comedian, take it. I've been called it a couple of times and I wear it as a badge of honour. Anyway, before we get to the attendance, let's do some Nottingham Forest. They go to Bournemouth today. 1 game, 1 win for Sean Dyche. Sandeep Mahal, friend of the show from the 1865 Nottingham Forest podcast, joins us. Sandeep, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Max. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Always nice to talk to you. I was saying earlier in the show that I felt sorry for Ange when Sean Dyche just turned up and won a game instantly, because I think Ange was really trying to win one. I presume you probably had less sympathy for him and just excited that someone else is there.
No, I was probably in a minority of one, where I was quite excited to see Ange take the Forest job. I remember that 10-game winning streak at the beginning at Tottenham, and I I was quite excited to see what he could do with all the attacking talent we'd assembled over the summer. Unfortunately, the rest of the fan base weren't so keen on him.
It was just you.
It literally was just me. I was desperate for him to succeed, just to show everybody I was right. So when you've got your own podcast, going broadcasting it, saying, "Oh no, I think he'll do really well. I think he'll do better than Nuno," it makes it look a bit silly when he doesn't. But he had a terrible run of luck. And Lady Luck sort of walked back in through the door with Sean Dyche the other night. 2 penalties and a VAR ruled out an offside goal. So all of a sudden the luck's flipped and we're looking positive again now.
Yeah, it's been an odd few months, Sandeep. If I was a Nottingham Forest fan, and I know you have a lot of, that what your owner has done has been incredible to get you to where you are, but to go to sort of hound Nuno out by bringing Edu in and they don't like each other, to go from how good you were last year to this sort of bin fire seems really odd.
Well, I think there's a phrase among Forest fans, it's just another day at Nottingham Forest. So we're quite used to it now. But even for our standards, it was quite extraordinary. I don't know why he gave Nuno a new contract at the beginning of the summer. If there's this sort of simmering tension, apparently there's been tension between Nuno and his own backroom staff, and it just went south very, very quickly, didn't it? And no, I wouldn't have expected us to be here at this point in the season. I would have thought we were maybe top half the table and everybody being sort of relatively happy. We were all very positive when all the new signings were coming in. We all got very excited. We thought, oh, maybe we can even challenge for the league or something silly like that. But it's not quite worked out like that.
Sandeep, Marinakis, your owner, people who are looking in from the outside all think, I suppose charitably, that he is eccentric. Do Forest fans still love him? Is he like someone you go, oh, that's just Evangelos, he's always going to do mad things? Or is it just the fact that he has loads of money that he's prepared to spend that makes you like him?
Yeah, I think that's got something to do with it. The fact that he has brought us up from sort of the depths of the Championship to where we are now, where we are playing in a European competition, means that he has a lot of credit. Not everything he does is right, and not everything he does the fans agree with. You will have that sort of diehard section who sort of support everything that he does, and you'll have other people who criticise him for, the mad tweets and decisions like sacking Nuno. I think on balance, you've got to just take the bad with the smooth, and just accept that with him in charge, he gets more things right than he gets wrong. You're not going to agree with everything he does, and he's not going to get everything correct. But in the long term, hopefully, we're on an upward trajectory.
It's interesting you mentioned those new signings, because a lot of them just haven't played at all, and it's odd because they're good, and they've got experience. Amari Hutchinson's experienced Premier League, last year looked really good for Ipswich. James McAtee's played a lot. It's interesting that barely any of them. Who has? And Doy has played quite a lot, but that's about it.
Well, the problem was we were quite good last season anyway. So, but for a player to come in, he's got to be better than the players that replaced them. There was that one natural hole in the team where Alanga left. So Ndoye has had a few games, but there's just so many of them. And for a team that teams normally only play with one striker, we suddenly found ourselves with 4 strikers. And if you only play with sort of 2 wide players, 2 of them are always going to be disappointed. And you have to sort of factor in that a lot of them have moved over from abroad. There's that sort of transition period. They came in very late, sort of more or less on transfer deadline day. And we just had a constant run of matches. I think this week coming up is the first one where we won't have a midweek game. So there's been really very little time settling in period for them and training time. So it's been a big ask. It would have been tough even if Nuno had still been here. He would have had a struggle. And I think that was part of his grievance, that he was so stressed with the situation where the expectations from the fan base and maybe more importantly from the ownership was that we're pushing on this season. We're going to be challenging for the big prize. And he probably knew it's not so easy to integrate 6, 7, 8 new players and have the European run and have the Premier League to contend with as well. It's just very difficult.
Sandeep, much have been made of the fact that Dyche has Forest connections and lives in the area, and that Woney and Stoney are in his backroom staff, and they have considerably more Forest pedigree than he does. Does that make any difference to Forest fans? I would imagine there's quite a few Forest fans who don't remember Ian Wone or Steve Stone playing for them.
Yeah, there won't be. I'm glad I do remember, but you'd think it wouldn't make a difference. But Ange not having any Forest connection, and not sort of praising the fan base, and not talking about the history, and sort of doing a lot of the his interviews talking about himself rather than the club. It really rubbed up people the wrong way. It didn't really bother me, but things like, when he talk about his time at Spurs and not talking about maybe the history of the club and not saying we in interviews, it really annoyed people. And just he was always on a bit of a losing track with Forest. He had to really convince them either by sort of winning lots of matches, but he never really got round to it. He
certainly didn't get around to winning lots of matches.
No. There's a performative element to it where you have to say the right things, a bit like being a politician. And Sean Dyche sort of quietly sat on the sidelines and said, "Oh yeah, tick it's bigger. The club is bigger than me. We all know about the history. It's just what fans want to hear."
Well, enjoy the game this afternoon, and good luck, Sandeep. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Mate.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Sandeep Mahal there from the 1865 Nottingham Forest podcast. Of course, the GameDay Live, Sunday GameDay Live with Sam Madface and Perry Gross, and the whole team will keep you posted on that game, the other 3 o'clock kickoffs as well as Everton versus Spurs, 4:30 in the Premier League. Andrew in Basingstoke writes, Barry. Barry is a comedian. He probably doesn't mean to be, but he's very funny. Oh, that is patronising. That's good. Looking forward to the thrashing them both again in guest the attendance. I think I've lost twice all year, says Andrew in Basingstoke. Do you have anything? Do you have beef with Andrew? No beef with Justin?
I've no beef with Justin. I've no beef with Andrew. I've beef with very few people.
No, I know.
I'm a beef-free zone.
You're beef-free zone. Let's go to Paul Mitchell. Hearts 3-1 up against Celtic at the top of the Scottish Premiership.
What an amazing last couple of minutes it's been for Harrow Midlothian. 52 minutes, Alexander Skourouzidas, brilliant move at the edge of the box, cut inside and shot low into the corner to make it 2-1. And then 60 seconds later, Dane Murray down, Claudio Braga inside the area. Referee pointed to the spot, confirmed by VAR, and Lawrence Shanklin has just hammered the ball past Kasper Schmeichel. What a start to the second half for Hearts. At the moment, they'll be going 8 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Hearts leading Celtic by 3-1.
Paul, I don't know your affinity and who you support, but how good would it be for Scottish football to have a different winner of the Scottish Premiership?
Scottish football is crying out for a third force. It's the one thing the game has been lacking for years and years. It's all been Rangers and Celtic, but you're looking at Aberdeen and Dundee United in the 80s haven't taken a title. Hearts should have won it in 86 but lost on the last day. It's what Scotland needs, is a third challenger. Also got to remember, Hearts are from the capital city. It's been a long time since a team from the capital has actually managed to do anything regarding the top of the table. So this is big for Scottish football. It's big for Hearts, and apart from Celtic fans, there's a lot of people enjoying it. Celtic have played well today, wouldn't write them off just yet in this match.
How much of this Hearts' success is down to Tony Bloom? He the Brighton owner who invested, bought a minority stake, I think, in Hearts during the summer.
Barry, I think it's down a lot to it, because what they've done with this Jamestown analytics model is found players that they think will bring value. There's not a soul in Edinburgh who told you who Alexandros Skourouzidas was before the start of the season, nor Claudio Braga, and they are absolute two of the stars of the Scottish Premiership this season. 8 goals so far for Claudio Braga. It's a 5th for Skourouzidas. They have made such a difference. They've also picked up a new goalkeeper, Alexander Showallow, who's conceded for the first time today, but really hadn't been under any pressure in the 4 games and produced a wonder save after 38 minutes. So basically they are finding terrific value for money. They obviously brought in Derek McInnes at the start of the season. He's revitalised several players. Craig Halkett looks a different player at the back. Lawrence Shanklin is back to what I think is international class and should be knocking on the door of the Scotland squad. It's all working for Hearts at the moment.
All right, good stuff, Paul. Thanks for coming on. Paul Mitchell there watching Hearts versus Celtic. Yeah, so Hearts 3-1 up in that at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Guess the attendance is next. Good afternoon. This is the warm-up on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. Find out more at travisperkins.co.uk or download the app. Max, please can we have a shout-out for my son, Freddie. Just played in a tournament at Manchester United for Doncaster Rovers under-10s. On the plus side, they beat Stockport and Burnley. On the downside, they got absolutely hammered by Chelsea and Man U. Great show as always, getting us home. We don't do shout-outs, so no, we can't. I'm sorry.
What is the name of the boy we're not giving a shout-out to?
Freddie.
No shout out for you, Freddie.
No shout out for you, Freddie.
And you lost 2 games.
Yeah,
shame on
Hang
you.
your head in shame. No, well done to you. Right, let's take guess the attendance. Today's the top comedian Justin Morehouse takes on top journalist Barry Glendenning. Welcome, Justin.
Good morning. Good morning. Afternoon, even.
How are you?
I am quite okay, actually. I have I've had a very busy period, and I've got quite the relaxed sort of half-term vibe, even though I'm not a child.
Oh, amazing!
It's half-term, so yeah, I've got kind of like a relax. But I've got some work on, so big shout out to. I'm hosting the On the Tools Awards on Thursday. Big shout out to them.
On the Tools.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Is there anything
sort of like
you
what
won't
best
do for money, Justin?
Yes, this game.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Is it like?
Just
is it
my
is it on the
regular
tools?
reminder
Is it?
that
is
I
on
don't
the
get
tools
paid
like,
for this.
Yeah, like wrench of the year. Like, what's the like?
Well, On the Tools is a brand. Many of the brands that pay your wages will be in attendance at this event because it's in the trade. It's that kind of thing. And so, so it's a bit of that, a bit of plumbers, and it's kind of it also shines a light on in the construction industry, men's mental health and things like that, which is very important.
That's good.
Which we're doing a lot of work on. I mean, that said, that's not the reason why I'm doing it. Obviously, I'm getting paid for it. So,
Okay, good stuff. Well, look. You know, if you run dry, you can always take a few attendances with you because it's very popular. We're looking at Elland Road on Friday night. Leeds 2, West Ham 1. Stuart Atwell of Warwickshire refereed the game, but how many were there to watch Leeds pile more pain on West Ham and Nuno? Justin?
I know Leeds attendance is about, I'm going to say it, 36,500, because I think Leeds' attendance is 36,500. I'm going to go right on there and lay the gauntlet down for Barry. Either go one above or one below, because I am so good at this.
Last week's game was a game for the ages. Just to remind everyone, I won.
Yeah, an aberration.
I think I'm now on a three guess the attendance winning streak.
Are you serious?
That's I think so.
It's like finally you'll be able to cut your hair. If you get 5 wins.
I've been growing my beard since Barry won 5 in a row.
You do have the look of a Papa Smurf about you.
No, you look a bit like, I think it's Fred from Guess Who, but it might not be Fred. It's one of them.
So
what did you say, Justin?
He said 36,500.
Okay, I'll go 36,499.
36,788, 1-0 to Justin Morehouse. To Hillsborough, we go.
Yes, you went one below.
Oh, yeah.
You went one below.
That's how numbers work, Barry.
Okay. That's how numbers work. Yeah. Paul Tierney of Lancashire.
Would you like to dance with me?
Was at Hillsborough to watch Sheffield Wednesday 1, Oxford United 2. But how many were there, Barry, at Hillsborough?
Right. I should probably say I know the answer to this.
Go on, then.
Okay.
You don't mind?
No.
Okay. There were 37,261 souls at Hillsborough yesterday. Almost all of them very happy.
I considering you said that you know the answer, I am actually going to showboat.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, because I don't think they get that many there at all. 30,000.
27,261. You were exactly 10,000 out.
So you knew the answer, but you forgot.
Yeah.
That's even better as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and this is only the second most stupid thing I've done in a quiz in this show.
Lee Swaby, the Mark Crossley incident.
The Mark Crossley aberration.
Lee Swaby of Devon refereed. Wycombe 3, Huddersfield 0 in League 1 at Adams Park. How many were there? Justin.
7,500.
7,500.
I've gone too low. Gone really too low.
Stop trying to mess with my mind.
I have gone too low. I mean, honestly.
7,501.
5,738.
Do you know what I am now? I'm nanny.
Walk into this door.
I'm nannying that Champions League game when they're about 5-0 up. I'm just keeping the ball up in the fullback position. And Barry's trying to scythe me down.
Lee Doughty refereed Swindon 0, Colchester 0 in League 2. The Nigel Eady County Ground. How many were there at Swindon to watch that goalless draw? It doesn't really matter, Barry, but you know, is there pride to salvage? I don't think there is.
I could get the next 2 attendances bang on, or there's only one left, isn't there?
There's 2 to play.
I could get
you're
them both
really
bang
bad at
on.
numbers today, aren't you?
And I would still not emerge from this game with even the slightest shred of dignity. What was the game?
Swindon Colchester. Colchester.
Oh, I don't know. 7,100.
7,101.
8,542. And finally, Falkirk 2, Dundee 1. Ross Hardy refereed it, but how many were there at the Falkirk Stadium for a 5-0 win? Justin?
9,000.
Barry?
3.
Well,
3 people.
Yeah,
three people. 7,652. I don't think you took that last one seriously,
No, I
Barry.
didn't.
And that's how the show ends. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Justin. Sam Matterface, Perry Groves are next.